what's going on? It's your girl Lissha. I am here, and we are here talking that talk with the men of Thinking Outside the Box podcast. Honey, listen, y'all know how we do a hardcore grind live. We're gonna be live. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna talk that talk. We're gonna talk about everything we can talk about, y'all. But let me get these fellas up in here. We have Scholar, Monster, Holy Grail, and Reg. Welcome, fellas.
Welcome. How you doing?
Blessings.
How you doing?
Indeed.
I'm good. I am good. Okay, so I want each of you guys to tell everybody a little bit about yourself, right? So we're going to go with the goal moment question, right? We talked about that on the podcast. If you guys missed the podcast, just head over to iHeartRadio and be able to watch that or listen to that in its entirety. But I want to talk about a goal moment, and really that's when thought and execution come together. A lot of times, again, we're mindful about other people. But when it comes to ourselves, we don't necessarily move our feet like we're supposed to. We don't do it right away. When the thought comes, we wait until something happens, and then we decide to move our feet and deal with it from then forward. So I want each of you guys to talk about your moment where you decided to step into joining this cast and becoming this fabulous show that we have today. Let's start with Scholar.
I think it all kind of came together. I guess me and it was. I think how was it? I think it was at a pop up or something like that. Visiting Moolah, and then we would always have these type of conversations, and then we would, say that it would what would it look like if we was able to bring together like-minded people into a team setting, and then he had made the comment that he had two other people that would be a great fit, and then the two made a marriage. So we just started collabing and figuring out our rhythm and chemistry, and it's kind of birthed into what we have today. So it kind of birthed from an idea that we was always doing, and it got its own legs now. That's pretty much what I could add about that moment.
Well, what was it like for you? What was it like in that moment for you when you thought about coming in line with these gentlemen? What was that moment like just for Scholar, yourself, your thought, your process, and how you were feeling about it?
Well, I was always open to change and stuff like that, or trying different things. But I'll be honest, I didn't even think that we would able to, I don't want to sound negative, but I didn't think that we would start to expand the way we did. It's like it's just kind of it kind of took its own legs. But at the beginning, I just thought like, oh, we're gonna kind of like try to experiment and see how we could do some things. But it's really like a testimony about the willingness to put your mind towards something. So it actually opening my eyes right now, and it's also therapeutic for me too, right? Because instead of just talking the talk, it became something now I'm actually walking and talking. So I'm enjoying the ride, is what I could basically say.
I love that. And then Moolah?
Well, the journey for me has been kind of different. Like I really kind of like pictured this. I pictured these guys, you know what I'm saying, here with me. I always say, people at the top, we collaborate, and the people at the bottom, they compete. And these guys right here are collaborators. They're leaders in their own community. They leaders in their own homes. And I needed that with me. I needed a team if I can go further, so we built this team together, and we put in, time, I ain't gonna say blood, sweat, and tears, but it's been some laughters, a lot of good times. And I think with the momentum that we have, I think that we can capture a lot more things. We can encounter and connect with a lot more people, you know. So this is just the beginning. It's gonna be a lot more coming soon up under the thinking outside the box umbrella, because this is not just a podcast, you know what I'm saying? We are entity. We gonna do a lot more things, you know. And I see that far, you know. It ain't, you know, me being big headed. It's just I see that far, you know. So it's been a good journey for me though. I learned a lot from these guys, you know. Every person here I learned a lot, and I take in some of the things that I learned, you know. So it's been a good run, and it's going to be a fabulous run after this.
All right, talk that talk. And Reg?
Well, first of all, can you guys hear me pretty good?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think my journey has been it's been kind of life-changing. I'll say that. You know, being around these gentlemen has really you know, it grew me up in a lot of ways. You know, I was already starting my journey in podcasting and media and things like that. But being around these guys, it helped me elevate to be a better father, be a better, you know, leader, you know, role model. Um, and I like where we've gone. Now, I will say this: there was a lot of people that underestimated us as well. You know, a lot of people didn't think that we would get as far as where we are now. Because podcasts, let's be real, they happen all the time. Like everybody's starting a podcast about something. But to see the consistency and the dialogue of what we talk about, it's amazing to see how it grown, right? And I like the leadership and the brotherhood that we share. I like how everybody is different, but everybody is great teachers. You know, Brian is a great teacher. He's a great father, great pastor. You know, Mullah is a great he's a great businessman. You know, he's a go-getter. He's a hustler. You know, Scholar is so. I've learned a lot just by listening to Scholar talk, probably more than I've heard any other man in my life. You know, so these things put together, it makes for a great team. So I love where we've been and I love where we're going.
All right, Sam, talk that talk. And then Holy Grind?
It's been inspiring, entertaining, humbling, therapeutic, and it's been a blessing. It really has. You know, I think about you know, coming into it, first of all, one thing I want to go back to what Mullah said about, you know, he had seen something, he had a vision. And, you know, when you believe in somebody and you see them going forth and you decide that, you know, I want to partake in that thing, you buy into that vision because you believe in the drive or the hustle in that individual. You know, on the same token, I believe that anybody he was introducing me to was somebody of substance. And when I met the other guys, Scholar and Reg, you know, it was instant connection. I thank God for the opportunity because it's definitely humbling. I always say when it comes to us, we approach things from the different perspective of being able to see things from another perspective. When you talk about thinking outside the box, and a lot of times, you know, we may not agree on everything, but that's cool because what it does, it opens you up to another perspective on how somebody think. And it may not necessarily mean one is right or one is wrong, but it helps you to understand how some of your brothers think outside of how you feel about certain things, and that'll help you to deal with other people, especially myself being in a position I am, because it helped me better to be able to minister to other people when they're going through stuff, whether brother or sister. It helped me to minister to them because emotions is emotions, whether it's coming from females or male. So I take it as a blessing. It's been very inspiring because, like Red says, a lot of people didn't think we'd make it this far, but when we look back on where we came from and how far along we've been doing this thing, and to see the support, let me tell y'all something. My grandmother, we celebrated my grandmother this weekend, my grandmother's 96th birthday. 96th birthday. And her birthday was yesterday on the 12th, and we celebrated this weekend. And I got an aunt who actually was an aunt-in-law, but she's an aunt to me. But she, cause me and my cousin, we grew up like brothers, and she stayed far out. She stays far south, and she came up to me and she said, "Nephew," she said, "I love you." I said, "I love you too, auntie." She was like, she's like, you know, I'll be following you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I know you gonna be following your church." She said, "I follow your church page." She said, "I follow your page, the wife." She said, "And I follow that TOTB." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Man, y'all," she said, "Cause y'all," and then my other cousin was like, "What's that?" She was like, "That's their podcast." She said, "Man," she said, "They be talking," she said, "They be real with it. They be real with it." She said, "Baby, keep going. What y'all doing, keep going, because it helps. And it's good to hear. It's good to hear y'all some men, some strong black men up there talking about what y'all talking about and addressing it from every angle." She was like, "I love it." Man, that inspired me so much. You know, because one thing she do, my cousin, which is her son, he like 2 years older than me. She said, "I always throw it up in your cousin's face. Like, look what they talking about. Look what they talking about." And sometimes he be like, "Boy." She's like, you hear what he said?" She said, "You hear what he said?" And he be like, what's wrong with you?" You know, she just was messing with him. But he tell me that too. He say, "Man, my mom always throwing up in my face what you said or what y'all saying and sharing me this stuff that I don't follow on social media." And it's just a blessing, you know, to know that you're touching the lives of people and giving them something outside of the normal nonsense that we get fed through social media. You know what I'm saying? It's a blessing.
Absolutely.
Give them something, a substance that they can draw to, and something that encourage and inspire them, you know. And that's a blessing to me, because that's what I look to do above and beyond all, is encourage and inspire other people, especially in the faith that I uphold. So it's been a blessing.
Absolutely. And you know, this is the thing that I love, because most of the time, you know, especially on social media, everybody is telling women what they need to do to be a woman and how they need to be and how they need to move. And this is a group of men talking to men about things that men experience.
Yeah.
And as women, we can't see and experience the things in the way that you do. Now,
Yeah.
we can, when we meet you, we can see a vision for you. Like, we can see you and we can see how far you can go. But the things that men go through, we can't really see that. We can't see the trials and tribulations. We can't see any of that. So as a man, how has your understanding evolved over time, as you've grown in life? We're gonna start with Mula.
Um, I think I have grown these last, I say 5 to 10 years, really just by me changing my direction I was going in. I think, you know, I always give it up to God. You know what I'm saying? He put me in a better place, and he opened up my eyes to, you know, better things. And, you know, and I feel like, you know, I definitely owe it to him, you know, from changing a lot of ways that I had a lot of bad ways. And I think, you know, this podcast also gave me something to do, some positive, something to do, you know, and it helps, you know. So, you know, I just think, you know, we're gonna continue to build and make a difference in our community and help each other. You know, I think that's really what sums it up. You know, and the most is that, you know, I think we are in a position to change lives, and once you get into position to change lives, I think you are important in your community now. You know, and
Yeah,
I want us to be like that. I want us to be very important in our community and help others, because that's how we're going to receive our blessings.
that's right. And Reg, what about you?
You know, I've grown in ways that I really didn't see 10 years ago. You know, 10 years ago, I was probably going through one of the toughest times of my life, adjusting to different things. And, you know, between, you know, seeing my sons grow up and, you know, just going through, you know, life's daily, you know, struggles. Um, this podcast and being around these brothers has helped me to, you know, walk into the man that I know God has me to be. I tell people all the time, sometimes it takes people years to their 30s and their 40s and their 50s to find out what their purpose is in life. You know, what's their passions, what they want to spend the rest of their life doing. You know, and I thank God that I was 35 years old when I realized that this is a passion of mine. You know, being in a platform with like-minded men to help educate and help people grow in different ways. Yeah, have some fun, of course, but seeing the growth that I've come from over the last 10 to 15 years, uh, it makes me feel special. When I see my son, my oldest son, who's getting ready to graduate high school this year, tell me that he's proud of me. That's a special feeling for a father. So um, I like where I'm going, but I'm really excited that God is continuing to see me grow and mature in this stage in life I am right now. And especially being around, like I call these guys my OGs. You know what I'm saying? These are guys I look up to, and they make me feel you know like they believe in me. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have people in your corner that believe in you and your craft, and that makes me feel good as well as far as where I've grown to. So as long as I got them, you know what I'm saying? Got them, got God, got good people in my life, good support system. I love where I'm going.
And I asked that question about growth, especially as men, because I think society puts so many expectations on men, whether how they should behave and the decisions they should make. How do you guys balance the demands of work, family, personal life, and being influencers? How do y'all balance that? We're going to go with Scholar.
I think that's those two questions can kind of somewhat be merged together. So I was in a journey where I wanted to be somewhat complacent, right? Just work. I was kind of like one track minded. This is the direction that I go. Just focus on work, and my children are older now, so it's just now it's just work, right? But the introduction of the podcast is reminding me that there's still more work to do, right? And these guys challenge me not to stay complacent. So as a man, I'm still growing. When people say like, yeah, I can still learn too. I'm still learning from them. I'm still learning to manage and juggle and do different things of that nature. And the message that I would give, and even the message that I would promote, if I could do it for a company for many over 20 odd years, or I could do it for my house, then I have to stay in the mindset that I could do it for myself or for a community or other people. I remember Grant and I had a conversation, and he was like, "Do you believe that you changing lives?" And I was like, "Yeah." It was kind of it was a deep rooted question, right? Because I don't really see the impact, but they telling me that there is an impact, right? And that's part of that complacency journey, right? When you complacent, it'll allow you to be to put walls up and allow yourself not to see the impact. So when I say the podcast has become therapeutic, right? Is challenging me, and it's pushing me in the direction to say that there's still more for me to give. And so that's how I would say that as long as God allows me to wake up and God allows me to have mobility and thinking in the right mindset, that's what the time in the right mindset, I'll continue to give the gift and give it to the people. So that's where I am at with that.
Absolutely. And being podcast hosts and being influencers in the community, a lot of times you guys are being vulnerable at that point in time. And then you're seeking to be able to help and to change. Now, Brian, what type of challenges have you faced with your platform in trying to bring your vision into the community and kind of pull it up?
And that's, that I ain't gonna lie, that's a hard question for me to answer because I accept challenges so much and I believe so much in my brothers and what we've accomplished it's kind of like hard for me to see it. Only thing that I can see is, challenges. Let me say this, okay? A lot of people look at it like it's cliche and like, is he for real? Like, I'm so grounded in my faith. I believe what God has for us is for us. And and I say that for this, just follow me. I was at a point in time in my life where, especially as a pastor and a man of God who focused on outreach more so in ministry than anything, and giving back and helping people. I've helped so many people and done so much for them. People have helped me too, but I'm just saying I've done so much for people that have actually stabbed me in the back. And I got to a point where I almost was giving up on people, right? And not to say that I ministered to a stranger, but trying to befriend people I didn't really trust. I was starting not to trust in that. However, me and Moolah, we always had this relationship, that extended whether we synced each other for a while or not. So then when he introduced me to Scholar and Reg, and I say that instant like gratification came, it was like, man, these my brothers, and it helped me to understand something that I always searched for, and that was loyalty. I was always strong on loyalty. So as I began to feel like, oh, it is people you could be loyal to. It is people you could trust to be loyal to you. Even though you may disagree on something, y'all could bounce back. Even though you may see things from a different point of view, man, I still got love for you. They still got love for me. And that really strengthened me as an individual. So when you got people like that in your corner, you got people like that you can entrust and be loyal to, it's like ain't nothing that we just challenging to us. We gonna work through it. We gonna push past it. Anything that somebody put in front of us, man, we gonna surpass it. Long as we continue to sacrifice, long as we continue to be willing to go through and do it, man, it ain't no challenge that can come before us. Now, as far as like, if some may look at it like, well, y'all ain't made it to this level yet, but to us, we just doing us. So wherever we make it to, it's a blessing, and that's how I look at it. So when I say it's hard for me to say, the challenges you face, the challenge, the biggest challenge in me was being able to find some brothers again that I feel like I could trust and be loyal to. So once I got past that and I got them with me, it's like it ain't nothing too challenging for us, man. We can accomplish anything we set our mind to.
And Reg, what do you think about that?
I echo it. He's 100% right. It almost reminds me of I'm an athlete, so I equate stuff to like sports, right? When you have like a team of brothers on the basketball court, or a football field, and nobody believe in you, but y'all believe in each other, that makes for some of the best competitive games. Like everybody's doubting us, but we know we got a monster at center, we got a monster at power forward, we got a monster at guard, and we believe in ourselves. So it's not really no challenges. Anything that we face, we handle in-house, but we always overcome it. We've had guests on the show. We've had things that come our way where you would think that we'll buckle and we'll fail, right? But we overcame it. So It's like there's no challenges that I feel that we can't overcome. I mean, even if we have individual struggles in our personal life, I feel like we trust each other to come to each other and say, brother, I'm dealing with this. Can you, give me some advice or whatever? And it's so beautiful how the transition happens. Like it's just nothing. So yeah, I believe in where we at. And, I don't think about no challenges like that. We got it.
And see, as women, we so used to pouring into men, and to see a group of men pouring into each other. Scholar, what advice would you give a young man that's grappling with or having difficulties with the expectations and pressures of life and just society in itself? What advice would you give that young man?
Keep going. Keep thinking outside the box. We represent two different generations, right? I'm too old to hang with the young and too young to hang with the old. You know what I mean? So for the young people, we still exist. We still out here. They do make them like us. We are built, like they say, forward tough, right? So for a young person, keep pursuing. Like Reg had said before, his purpose was sparked by a flame, which would be us as an introduction. So my whole thing would be, as a young person, it's okay to have doubt and discomfort, but it's not okay to believe that things can change in a moment of time. So I would say just to keep pressing.
Absolutely. And Mula?
Well, pressure, you're going to, as a black man, we're going to receive pressure like daily, yearly, like that's just part of the plan. That's just who we are. I tell my son the same thing. You're going to have obstacles in your life and you're going to have pressure. You got to make the right choice, the right decision. So any young kid, and we kind of, what we do is when we call ourselves thinking outside the box, because we want to give, young kids different avenues to think, different options to go by, because they're going to help them in the long run. That's what this podcast is built for. It's built to teach the youth, to show them understanding, to give them a better way of thinking. That's what this entirely thing is about. So when I see a young kid faced with pressure, I just tell them it all goes away. Do with time, you know what I'm saying? So just still be there and still move forward, because it's going to be a lot of things come your way. You just got to deal with it and make the right choice. The wrong choice can lead you 20 years, 30 years in a bad situation. You know what I'm saying? That's what one thing I learned later, that, you have to make the right decisions. They dictate everything that goes on in your life afterwards.
And Brian, go ahead. You had something you want to say?
Definitely. When it comes to any, especially a young man that's going forward, I would tell them, regardless of what anybody else say, get you a personal relationship with the Lord. Get you a personal relationship with God. 1 and 2. Carry yourself above the stereotypes that society places amongst you. Again, carry yourself above the stereotypes that society places above you, places upon you. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. Find out who you are in God and be the best version of you that you can be.
I love that. And Reg?
Yeah, that's because I grew up in, south side of Chicago. I'm the only, one of us from the south side. But, growing up as the only child and just seeing a lot of, teenagers that struggle with certain things, staying the course and staying consistent is so important. It's easy to get distracted out here. There's so much temptation. There's so much everything that's going to throw you off your purpose. But staying the course, staying consistent, staying loyal, and definitely, like Ron saying, find a connection with God is so vital. I wish I found a deeper connection with God at an early age where I would have stayed the course. I wish I would have had brothers like this in my life, 18, 19, 20 years old, to stay disciplined. Who knows when my life would have came. But I'm glad the path I took, because it got me to where I am now. But I would tell people to stay the course, be surrounded by like-minded men, that's mature and that's role models, and gain a relationship with God.
Absolutely. And it's funny because I think a lot of times he was talking about Graham was talking about stereotypes. Sometimes we step into those things on our own.
Yeah.
Sometimes just by following. So they have the Love is Blind show. And so in this show, which to me is just online dating on TV, that's really what it is, because you don't see each other right away. And then after that, they're expecting you to get married. First of all, that's not how the process works, which is deceiving to someone young. But now, so when they come to the altar, the producer makes the decision who's going to marry, and who's going to have to break up. So, somebody's going to get embarrassed. I think that now, since Clay, who is African American, he had to do the breakup. Everybody is dragging him. They are dragging him on social media. And I think that's one of the stereotypes that Black men are trying to shake, as far as understanding that some of the way in which things are done, we may not understand and we may not like it. But I don't think a lot of times we hear your reasoning for something. It doesn't necessarily come through, where it's kind of like you guys may speak Chinese, we speak in Japanese, and we don't hear you. Talk a little bit about those stereotypes and the disconnect between men and women in our community. We're going to start with Reg.
You know what? This is, I was just telling the guys, and actually I was at an awards show on Sunday, right? The 312 Awards, and, it was a lot of people there. So someone walked up to me and was like, man, I follow the show, whatever. And for whatever reason, if anytime somebody comes up to me, it's always 2 or 3 clips that they know about our show, right? Always. And one of the most infamous clips is when we did a show in Vegas last year. And the topic was, is a man wasting a woman's time if he don't propose to her and they've been together 2 years, So is a man wasting a woman's time, you know what I'm saying? So I think that when it comes to men and women, when it comes to situations like that, now we know Grind has a different view on this, right? But I think that it's okay for a man to not be ready for marriage, but still love his woman, still want to be with her, still want to build with her. But there's no time frame on when marriage is supposed to happen. It can be a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, even 5 years. Okay, it could be 5 years that you're with this person. And just because you don't propose to it, don't mean that you don't see a future with her. There's a lot of things men go through in their mind mentally to be ready for marriage. But the society, a lot of women think that that's BS. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I have different views on it, you know what I'm saying? But I think that men, there needs to be a safe space where it's okay for a man to not be ready for marriage. And it's okay for a man to admit that there's nothing like wrong with the woman. Because a lot of women internalize like, it's something wrong with me. Is there something wrong with me? Maybe you're not, you know what I'm saying? Like commitment type thing. So I don't know, man. I view it differently, but I do think that should be a topic that's talked about.
Now, listen, I got a couple of girls. Got a couple of girls. We only feel that way because our daddy told us after this amount of time, a man knows what it is. If you have daughters, I know a lot of you have sons, but if you have daughters, think of the way you speak to your daughter. You become her man that wants to be with her. You become his competition. Because trust and believe, first thing she's going to say is, I got a daddy. Let me call my daddy. Oh, you can't? Oh, let me call my daddy. But the problem is that men don't understand. Once I call my dad and he takes care of whatever it is, you got a problem. Your dad becomes that man's competition because now you're looking for him to step to the level where, like you said, he's not ready. But at the same time, it's okay for him not to be ready, but that comes with communication and understanding that, okay, where are we going? Like, we have to be moving forward and going somewhere. Because when you just hover like a helicopter hovers, all that does is kick up dirt. It doesn't do anything but make a mess. And so if you hovering for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, it's a problem. Somebody got to set the atmosphere and somebody got to be the temperature. That it's got to be that way in order for that relationship to move. And most of the time women do that. They're like, listen, it's been 4 years and I understand that you're not ready, but you have to be willing to walk away and let him get ready. And if you're still available, then you be available. And if not, then that's just what it is. You don't have to wait for him to get ready, especially if you feel that you've given him enough time. Because in that time, y'all should have learned each other. Y'all should have experienced each other. You learning this person, not just dating them. See, dating, we dating everybody. You can get chemistry with Susie, and then down the street, you got chemistry with Jane too. 5 minutes later, chemistry just goes wherever it want to go. It's like the wind. But when you say we're going to be together and we building and it's 2-3 years in, that means that's like a business venture. Now we building something. And if our ideas are not the same, you're going to see that. And you got to be willing, whether it's him ready and she not ready and she's not moving in the way that is conducive to the way y'all trying to build in that foundation so that you can be strong. You got to walk away. You can't wait for her. Let her go be ready. And then if you're still available when she's ready, then okay. But if not, then you move on. But you don't stop your life to wait for somebody else.
I knew Ground was gonna like that. I knew Ground was gonna like that.
Like 3 years, you should know, because my daddy told me he know if he wants you for a lifetime and if he don't. So at 5 years, if he's still saying he don't know, he may not be ready, but he's not sure if you that one. You see what I'm saying? And so if you there, he not, then y'all have to make a decision to say, okay, we need to go separate ways because we don't want the same things. We don't want to do the same things. I think we get so wrapped up in a man's potential, we have to stop doing that, because at a certain point in time, the potential should already be there. And if it's not, then we already know off top he's not ready. Instead of kind of forcing him to be ready, you can't really force him to be ready. You can tell him 5 years, we should know what we're doing. And if he doesn't know, say, I understand that. I respect that. But this is not going to work because I know what I want to do. And I know what I need and I know what I want. Talk about it, Scholar, because your face is over there like, listen.
Well, I think it should be a time. Now, here's the thing is, with Reg, I could understand the perspective of not wanting to be pushed into anything, right? You want to be free-spirited, right? But I got 2 daughters, right? So my perspective is different because I had to set guidelines and rules, and my principles, they follow, not with me even talking to them, just based off of the structure, right? So my oldest daughter, I said, you thinking about having some kids? He said, yeah, as soon as I get a ring, right? So is she wrong for telling her boyfriend she not having no children until he give her a ring? Some may debate that, right? And so I think but I subscribe to it, right? Because
I was about to say, what you telling Dad?
No, I said, well, baby girl, we're gonna be waiting there. Because my whole thing is it go back to principles again, So a question would be, okay, maybe you don't want to marry her, but then you gotta ask yourself, do you still want children? You know what I mean? Do men we make the decision to procreate, right? Which is a big step, but we debate the decision to get an agreement and come in one accord. So that's but we'll produce a whole life, but we'll debate that challenge. Now I'm not going against it. I'm just saying. Then another thing is, I say, if you get my daughter pregnant 3, 4, 5 times, that's yours. You know what I mean? Because
she's now yours.
Yeah, you done bought that, right? You know what I mean? So this is my subscription, but I will say this and try to, not try to bully Rick, because I do understand that a little bit. Outside of our community, if you say stereotypes, right? Outside of our community, the marriage becomes to look very important when we're dealing with outside communities. So I don't know how people care about it. We look out. So if we become very successful and you associate yourself with a woman, somebody gonna wonder why that woman ain't made no ties and no bond to this great man, right? You know, oh, you've been with us for 15 years? Yeah, we just very good friends, right? That becomes a foolish conversation when you really start to hear it out loud, right? So, but as long as we in our community, see the principles in our community that we living by, ain't no rules. You do what you want to do, right? You know, you want to do this, you want to do that. Ain't no rules, right? But when you start going outside your norm, you know what Mullah said, man, we want to go further. We want to go great. But the further you dig in that water, right? These little small things that we talk about, they become real conversations once they confronted with that. So I'm an advocate. I'm not gonna bully nobody there, but I'm a firm believer. If you playing house, keys need to be in the, and it got to be somewhere in your mind, because you can't be playing house with my children and not to have that in your mind. That's just the way I see it.
And then Moolah, I want to ask you, because is part of that not being ready, fear? And do sometimes men allow that fear to lead their decisions? Because that really tells you if you're reading him, if you're learning him. Once you see he leads by fear, you can't lead me because I need you to lead yourself.
Ooh, I like that.
But what do you think about that? Because that fear is there. I don't know if you've seen the show, but his fear was there because he said, my father cheated on my mother. He took me with him, and I'm scared to be that type of man. See, that's a trauma that I don't think a lot of times people don't know that is a trauma that people have to deal with, even as females. Because you like, okay, there was in my parents' relationship, it was infidelity. I don't want to be the cheater or the cheatee. You know, and so what do you think about that, Mullah, allowing fear to lead your decision making when you're trying to pursue a relationship?
Well, that's a good question. Well, my thing is, a lot of men don't say this, but a lot of men been hurt. So the guys who really kind of postpone marriage with the girl who they love, they really been hurt before, but they don't know how to acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? And going through that hurt, yeah, it can bring fear along with it, right? So I feel that, you know, on one hand, yeah, I think the fear and, you know, like you said, you know, your mom and dad, I think it's more personal. I think it's them. I don't think it's the mom and dad. I think it's, you know, I ain't gonna say them, I think it's us, Rich, right? Because I feel like will we lose that special someone if we don't do it? You know what I'm saying? And second, right? That's what I want to always say too, especially to Lissha. Women, of course, stipulate marriage, but sometimes that's all they do. Like it takes a special woman to be married. That's just me. I feel that way because I'm not gonna get in a relationship. As a matter of fact, this girl said on our show, in our audience, she say, a face have many faces. And that stuck with me for a long time because my thing is, you can be with somebody for 2 years and they can still be pulling the covers over your head. People are good, and especially women. Women can, I just read 70% of women who's married and who got a relationship got a backup plan. I'm serious. Got a backup plan. Friend, old ex, somebody they
men got one too. Come on now.
See. Now wait, now let's stick on the women though. We ain't gonna flip it on the men. Let's stick with the women though. Okay.
When women speak up, when women talk about marriage, I be thinking like, yeah, it's certain women who really, you know, I think will be a true wife, but I think most women just, you know, says it because it sounds good. Let's get married. No, you got to put in some work for me. You got to be a God-fearing woman. I told Grant this before because this girl was telling me she don't really, put God first. You know what I'm saying? And I called Grant. I'm like, Grant, hey man, I don't know about this one, man.
But that was your red flag.
Yeah, that was a
your
red flag.
You know, a lot of times we see the stop sign and we do the roll and stop and be like, wait,
I'm gonna keep going.
let's just see.
Yeah, that's true. And that's probably
so
what
you saw that stop sign, but you had to call somebody. Once you made that call, you knew right away she wasn't it.
She wasn't it. Yeah.
If I got a call, if I got to pick up the phone and call my dad, my brother, my girlfriend, and say, "Let me tell you what happened." That right there then ended that relationship.
Yeah.
And because at this point in time, I'm complaining about something I shouldn't be complaining about. But I think I want to talk about a little thing about what you said about women in marriage. And I think it's both ways. People get married for the wrong reasons because they don't understand what it is. We have been given this fairy tale, white picket fence idea of what a marriage is. And see, a lot of times they don't understand marriage is two people growing together. So y'all are really a business. Y'all are a business building and growing together that have that bond and like-mindedness. But the problem is people get married for the wrong reasons. So sometimes two broken people come together. And when two broken people come together, when somebody heals, that relationship is going to die. And at that point in time, reset together and do what needs to be done so that you guys can create a new relationship, because the one you had before is dead. It's gone. You can't put new shoes on it. You have to create a new relationship, new ideas, new identities to meet the new person that you are. Because a lot of times women, and I said this on a TikTok, I don't understand how it is that we don't know really who we are and what we want till after our kids get grown. Because we give so much of our everything to family, we lose our identity. And by the time you find it now, because you haven't had that conversation with your man, he like, hold on, wait a minute. But see, that's growth. That means that you guys really probably didn't get married for the right reasons. And there's no growth factor in there. There's no grace. There's no room to grow. So now she comes to you like, well, I just need this and I need to be that. But now that you asking her questions, because you're like, okay, well, let's see. I'm asking her questions, and you like, well, we don't even want the same things because I need God and you don't believe in him. And people will roll past that and say, well, maybe they don't have to believe in religion. They just might be spiritual. But it's that roll and stop where you stop, you got to call, you get verification. It's like, at that point, we should be like, well, this is not going to work because this is what I need. And we don't know what we need half the time. When we come to y'all, we don't know what we need. We were taught that a man is to protect and provide. And if we're taught that he's supposed to protect and provide, that means that most of the time we're not taught to protect and provide for ourselves, meaning that y'all have to grow us up. And most men can't grow themselves up. So now they got to grow themselves in you. That's a lot of pressure. What you think, Reg? Your face is saying, I don't know.
Man, I just want to, because you lucky I don't got no pencil right, because I'm writing down. I want to write down a lot of stuff that you're saying right now. But I'm gonna just stick on one point, and I'm gonna turn the floor over. You said a statement that if a man, as far as fear goes, men, don't want to get married. So a lot of men don't want to get married because of fear. And if a man is led by fear, then a man can't lead me. That's what you said, right?
Yes.
Okay. So this hypothetically, just you, or I don't know your situation, let's just say woman A or whatever. She loves her man. She loves him. They're not married, but she loves him. He loves her. They down for each other. Communication is great. The love, everything is great, right? But he lost his job, right? He lost his job, and now he's struggling to see how he's going to continue his livelihood. Maybe he has a background. Maybe he has something that's going to be hard for him to get the same job that he had, and that creeps into him. As his woman, are you going to leave him, or are you going to encourage him to get another job or get a better job?
Well, this is the thing. So when I want to go back, because when I talk about lead, a man that is a leader is a leader. It's a natural thing that he has. It's a natural gift that he has. So even in his hard times, he can still lead you, because most of the time, women, it's our mind. We want you to be able to have it up here. Now he might have. It doesn't mean he's not gonna have hard times, but can he lead you? You see what I'm saying? Right. He can have hard times, trials, tribulations, but ultimately, if you see and smell that, I'm gonna say weakness. Don't get me, but once you smell that weakness, once you smell it, it's like, hold on, because you can have.
And this is what. And this is.
Lead my kids. You can have hard times and still lead your family. But when you have hard times and you confused and all over the place, you can't lead me because you can't lead yourself.
But that's what I'm saying, though. This is why men need a platform on why it's okay to not be ready for marriage. Because if you tell a woman that you're fearing, you have you don't want to fail in marriage, you don't want to fail at being a provider, you don't want to fail at being a protector, they look at you as weak. They look at you as you can't lead me. They look at you at all these. They put all these stigmas over you. Now they're looking, because a woman wants that from her husband, which is fine. But where do men go to when they can't provide, when they can't protect, when they can't do certain things? What happens? Where's the safe space for men to go and say, you know what, I'm not ready to marry her, bro. I don't know where my next buck will come from. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I can't marry her, bro. I don't. I'm dealing with a sex addiction. I'm dealing with a porn addiction. I'm dealing with. You can't tell your woman this and then expect her, according to what you're saying, you can't tell this woman this and expect her to say, "Oh, he's still gonna lead me," right? What do men go to for this safe space when they're dealing with struggles when it comes to getting married to somebody?
I mean, now see, marriage and boyfriend girlfriend is two different things. And if you're going to get married now, you have to let him, like I'm saying in the beginning, if he's there and he has that much fear and he has a lot of things that he needs to work through, of course, clearly y'all not ready to get married if you're saying he's the one. Now, see, a lot of times we're not talking about God told you to marry him. You doing it on your own. God didn't necessarily tell you to go marry him. He could have put y'all in connection because there's some growth that needed to be had on both ends. So we take it and run with it, right? We like, but I love him, right? But he's dealing with some things that you can't help him through that. You don't know. You don't have the skills. You don't have what's needed to help him get through. So when you talk about marriage, that's different. That's a different situation to where you gotta have yourself. I gotta have myself. Because if I don't, both of us, we're gonna get lost in something and be all over here and just be a whole hot mess. So understanding that when you taking that step in marriage, if he's having these difficulties, and has he voiced it to her? So what's your communication like? Like, what's our communication like? If you are in that space and you're having a hard time, or that's a test right there, because that tells you if this is going to be your wife or not. Because if you are in that moment, your wife's supposed to be able to pull you through. And if that's her, if I'm her, then I'm going to help you, right? However, I'm not going to let you hover. And once you start hovering, that hovering is fear, and that hovering is a form, in my opinion, a form of weakness. Once we smell that, once we see that, it's like, girl, he gonna hover you to death. Because sometimes we can't help you through it. You have to take those steps, whether it's counseling, whether it's reaching out to other men. That's why your platform is so needed, because you guys are talking about things that men are going through that they may be afraid to speak on. They may be afraid to say, I'm having this moment in my life where I'm really feeling less than. And I don't want to tell her that, because I don't want her to feel away. And I don't want
I'm
her,
weak.
Yeah, I don't want her to feel that I'm weak. But when I say weak, that means I've seen something to say that, come on now, I need you to get this here thing together. A weakness is not just going through a hard time. You know what I'm saying? You can go through a hard time, but he's still like, listen, we good. I just got some stuff I got to get through. I lost my job, but I got a plan. I have a plan. He done laid it out. He's letting you know that you still safe. So when you show me there's no safety in your vision, that's a problem, right? Because we need you to provide and protect. And so if there's no safety in your vision, how can you provide and protect in that when I'm seeing there's no safety in it?
This is a tough conversation here, man. We got to get you on the show.
Hey.
That's right.
Hey, listen. Philippians 1:6 says this, and this is why I tell people, 1 John 4:8 say, he who loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Therefore, you really don't know how to love till you know who you are in God. Then you really know how to love somebody. Philippians 1:6 say, being confident of this very thing, that he which has begun a good work in you shall perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. Even when you're going through your trials, it's for a man to be confident in himself. Just like we confident in this, like me and Reg, we agree. We ain't see no challenges. We like together, man, you got to think about that when you with somebody, especially if you feel like they healthy for you, together, like me and my wife, we feel like, man, ain't nothing I can't come through. Long as she by my side, even if I lose my job today, man, baby, she gonna tell me, baby, we got this. But before she said, I'm gonna say, I might lose my job, but guess what? It ain't gonna stop me. My name, you know what I'm saying? I don't hold the credentials, the ground for nothing. Like, I'm gonna get out here and make it happen. That alone will secure a woman. That don't mean because she don't look at me because I'm weak because I lost my job. But am I gonna lay in that? Now let me bring some balance to this though, and defend myself now, because you said that I don't believe that you should be, being with a woman, you should be with somebody 2 years and not marry them. Let's bring this under context. No, that's not what I said. That's not my stance. This is my stance. My stance is that you being with a woman 2 years and expecting her to be secluded to just you is a waste of her time. See, that's the problem. See, if you're not willing to marry this woman, if you're not willing to marry her, then she should leave her options open, because somebody else might want to come in and say, listen, I'm going to be everything to you that you want. You know what I mean? And vice versa for a man. Listen, if you got a woman and you feel like, man, if I'm down, I don't feel like I could be safe around her. If you dating and you know how I feel, I always tell you, I believe you should court. That don't mean that you should be laying down with them, but I believe you should court. If you dating this person for 2 years, you dating that person for 2 years, y'all be coming to know each other, see how they are, see how they respond to pressure, see how they respond to all the, the things you do, then guess what? You'll figure out this one will support me if I'm down, this one won't. So now you can weigh out your options too and say, well, I ain't taking it no further with this one, but with this one, I'm looking to go further with. And that's the whole thing. It's not that you can't be with them for 2 years. I just don't think you should be secluded to know one person for that long without intending to move forward. And when this is an investment, we wasting too much time. Tomorrow ain't promised, yet alone 2 years from now. Tomorrow ain't promised, yet alone 5 years now. The next hour ain't promised, yet alone 7 years from now. But yet you want to lay down with me. You want to be willing to make kids with me, but you don't want to be able to invest and build with me. And you can't do it unless you're married, because if I do it and I'm not married, whatever I'm building with you, if something happened to you, it ain't mine. Or if you decide to walk all the time that I invested and then build with you, I lose access to it. That's not fair to me. That's not fair to you. I'm not going to put you in that predicament. I'm not. So
She loving this, by the way.
Let me just pivot in once you're done.
Speak first. Go ahead, Scholar.
I want to pivot it. None what Grind said was incorrect, but these marriage conversations.
Of course.
No, let me say that. I'm gonna throw in the intermission right here because it seems like we be going down the rabbit hole. It's like we be having two different conversations.
Yeah.
The first conversation was, do you even entertain marrying the woman, right? And stay right there. Is this something that you want to do, right? People will jump from even the thought of marriage to a marriage, and you've been battered and bruised and went through all that. You ain't even been with her. You ain't even been with this woman to have these experiences. We only going over experiences that happen in other people's relationship, other people triggered experiences, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not your marriage. You ain't even been with her. You have not even asked yourself the decision. Is this something that you're willing to take a risk, or I don't even like to use the word risk because the risk may be challenged. Is this something that you really would entertain? We talked about this podcast, and we also used the word that this is a business. We don't know where this is going to go. We blessed that this may stay a happy matrimony. This may stay a happy union. We blessed in there, hoping. But if we don't attempt to jump into it, then we can never have this marriage, right? So we jumped into this marriage, the hope that it'll be bountiful. Now, we don't have to get into it. We can stay out on the sidelines where it's safe at, or we could jump in and receive the blessing, right? So my whole thing is, it'd be really frustrating when people be, I listen, Red, I was scared. I'm still scared. People be thinking like, when you were a bad relationship, boy, the Bible said, lead me not into temptation.
There it is.
Deliver me from the evil one. I didn't lose no superpower. I didn't lose no ability. I see what you see. I hear what you hear. But I have to learn to discipline myself, right? So the relationship is, do you have the ability to discipline yourself over your nature? So it ain't really about no marriage or nothing like that, because was you in a relationship where she was abusive? Was you in a relationship where she lost the job? So you can't put the cart before the horse. Unless you was in that situation with that woman, you can't talk about it. But some men have been with people in a relationship longer than marriages. Yeah. You didn't live with her for 10 years. Yeah. You didn't have something with her for 10 years. You could have just went ahead and officially said that this was your wife. You had did a 10-year journey with this situation. But I think it's the psyche, and I'm going to stick with the psyche. Yeah. It can be, if daddy failed, it's easy to sign off on an excuse. Of course, you're going to fail. I tell my kid, man, just because the ups and downs that I might have in my situation, that does not have to be your situation. You could change the narrative. You understand what I'm saying? But or you can use, my daddy went to jail, that's why I'm in prison. Mama got 3 baby daddies, that's why I get 3 baby daddies. No, your marriage may be the best successful marriage that we've ever seen.
That's right.
That somebody else may be inspired. But I think we like to do this whole. So as long as we do this back and forth, we're going to come up with plenty of scenarios, plenty of this situation. But here's the situation. Are you willing enough to take that leap? And only you can answer that. There you go.
That's right.
Hey, and let me say this, man. And Scholar dealt directly with what we as men feel. I want to go to what Turbo said about how not being able to trust that woman, right? Feeling like she's not adding up to be what I need her to be a wife to me. So that's why I haven't wifed her. Check this out, Reg. And you agree with that, which I feel y'all on that. But check this out. If that woman that you're dating, if you don't feel that she's yet qualified to be your wife, then why would you tie her down to a long-term relationship? Allow her, and this is a good test, allow her the opportunity to be able to see who she want to see and be upfront about it. And if she chooses, I hear you, and you tell her I'm the same way. If she chooses to say, I hear you and I agree with you, but she still choose not to see other people, then that would lead you more closer towards looking at her in that sight, seeing her as that individual that may just be your wife. but you got to give her that opportunity, because if you don't feel like she's the one, why you want to be with her and tie down with her for 3 years, 2 years, 5 years?
And
Why?
stop stalking other men. Stop texting other
because
men.
it's comfort. It's comfort.
I'm not being
now,
sarcastic. What I'm saying is, you
right
don't get
though, but it's
yourself
comfort, right?
involved.
What you say? What you say?
It's comfort though, right, Scholar?
Yeah.
That's comfort though. You see, so first of all, in dating is more than one person. You see what I'm saying? So we're not even exclusive because we're just dating. Now, after 2 years, intent and purpose should come into play. We are intentionally doing something purposefully. Now, what is that going to be? What does that look like? So if we start moving with intent and purpose, with a vision for tomorrow, then that's different. That means that we're going somewhere. But I like what Brian said, because just like we have to feel protected, y'all have to be protected. Y'all have to feel that. And you have to allow yourself to feel it. And that goes for everybody. Sometimes we have so many traumas, like Scholar was saying. It's so many traumas and things that people have experienced that they could just be a walking vessel, especially in grief. And I'm going to say grief is one of the biggest traumas that people experience.
Indeed.
And grief will turn you into a shell where you will smile, you will walk, and you just dead on the inside. You have no ability to connect to yourself or nobody else. And if you allow yourself to sit in it, it will swallow you whole. And that person that you with, if they don't know how to deal or maneuver or lead you out with knowing how to pray with you and pray for you and saying, okay, well, maybe let's plan this, let's figure this out. If he don't have the ability to have that vision of, okay, something is going on and I need to get this together. Like I was saying in the beginning, somebody got to be the temperature and somebody got to be the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
And once we see stuff, like you said, Scholar said, but you're still there. You've seen that she ain't the one. You've seen that he ain't the one, but you holding on because it's comfort. It's that familiar spirit. And you know, everybody said about the familiar spirit. That's going to get you in trouble every time, just like your ego will make you stay. And your ego will put you in a trick bag right along with that familiar spirit.
That's true. Well, I got a question. I got a question for you, Lissha, right? Not even a question. It's about what you said earlier, right? You said about how a man would look weak in a woman's eyes or your eyes, right? Like, we got to stop that. Like, women, I'm serious. Black women have to stop calling men weak. Listen, if we pouring into you, you have to pour into us. If I lost my job, you got to get me up. Don't just look at me like, oh, I'm finna just sit in, you know what I'm saying? Just sit here. No, boost me up, motivate me. See, we're not appreciated. I used to always think that Black women was the least appreciated. It's us. Let me tell you why.
I second that.
It's us. Because a woman, y'all think that's the only thing we have to do is provide and protect? No. Let me tell you something. If you motivate me and keep me like listen, if I come and bring the bag home to my kids and my wife tell me, you did your thing, I appreciate you for taking care of the kids and the home, I'm gonna go out there and get a bigger bag and bring back and see what she says. I gotta feel appreciated around here. And Black women have stopped doing it because y'all want the I's dotted, the T's crossed, but y'all not doing nothing but sitting down talking on the phone or on the phone playing games. So what I'm saying is, as a Black man and as a sister, we have to do this together. Don't call no man weak. You know what I'm saying? It's some men that are weak, but they don't need their partner calling them that. You know what I'm saying? So pour into us like we pour into y'all. And second, when you was talking about, you know, people have to date, you know, it sounds very good. But if we're dating and she's dating other people, she's not going to be a keeper for me anyway.
Come on, Moolah.
I said that though. I said that.
She's not there to be kept. When you are dating, that is a teaching moment. That's educational. Yes. You're learning people. I'm not here to be exclusive. You see what I'm saying? That's the problem. We want to be exclusive before we learn about the person. Then when we learn about the person after we've been exclusive, now it's like, oh, well, this is not going to work. And now she feels like you wasted her time when you needed her to sit still so that you could decide. And for her, it was like, once you want me to sit still, you should have already decided. Now, what I said was weakness, not that the man is weak, because women have weaknesses too, that y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see her weakness before, but what is her posture in that moment in time of that happening? You see what I'm saying? A lot of times, and I'm gonna say I disagree. I think that Black women are the pullers and the visionaries in our community. We have to be. We got to be the mamas. We got to be the dads, the grandparents. We got to be all the doctor, the lawyer. We are all of these things to everybody. That's why we lose ourselves in everybody else. And we don't really kind of focus on who we are because we can't. We don't know I can't focus on me and really take care of my family at the same time. Because when you start focusing on you, something is going to have to give in that process.
Life is about unbalance. Everything in your life, as you get successful, your life going to be unbalanced. So you have to know how to categorize it and put it in compartments. You know what I'm saying?
Women don't function like that, right? Because we're raised in a different way. Our fathers, which are men, have told us, your man is here to provide and protect. This is what your father is telling you. He's saying that everything that I'm doing for you, when you have this man, if he can't do these things, that's a problem. So if your father is telling you and grooming you to be a certain way, once you get out here, men, they could be broken. They could have different experiences. That's why when you're dating, you shouldn't be exclusive because y'all got to learn each other. I can't be exclusive now and learn you later. Then all of a sudden I don't want him. And now he feel like I wasted his time because I needed him to sit still while I figure it out. Or you need her to sit still while you figure it out.
Lissha, let me push back a little bit too, though. But the women out here broken too, right?
They are.
So a lot of times we getting bad raps on the men. Now I'm not just advocating run and jump in there and all that stuff. What I'm simply saying, I understand where Brian coming from. There must be a process, but I also understand what the men say that they are very hesitant because they didn't see some things, right? And a lot of times I think we like to focus in on the men behavior and we like to skip past the women toxic behavior and turn them into like how you said, the doctor, the lawyer in general. That may be for some women, but we lead over here. We ain't like the one lady, she told me, she said, well, most men are intimidated by my doctor's degree. And I'm sitting up there, okay, I don't know why, because I don't understand how that interferes with we confident in what we do. You get what I'm saying?
But that's but that's the difference. That's the type of learning the man that you have.
Right. But I suspect men coming in, I mean, I have to keep going back to that. And with the images that we see on TV and with the behaviors that we seeing on MVP, I think y'all making the men fearful of doing what some men have done because of the outcomes that we see. Men are just dying. You don't see that? Let me talk about that. Now listen what I'm saying. I ain't talking about the ones that ain't wanted. I'm just saying, listen, you. I think I hear more negative stories about this marriage state than I ever heard about positive.
Yeah, right.
No, but that doesn't make it true because my family has great history with it. I'm not against it, But
a lot of that come from single people. So
right. No, that's what I'm saying.
But that
I'm not. But
people's
the thing is,
trauma. That's what Scholar said
yeah,
earlier.
that's what I'm saying.
He
I'm
said we
agreeing
on other
with it.
people's
I'm
trauma.
not here to debate it. I'm just only thing I'm really just raising the question is that there could be some truth and some fact finding that may need to be looked into it. But I'm not leaning either way.
She actually spoke on that though. She actually spoke on what you're saying, and Turbo did too. And this is one of the biggest problems, right? Mullah said that life is about balance, imbalance. It's imbalances in the life, and women got to be able to adapt. But you're wrong, because I'm gonna tell you why. And you agreed to this before, so you're gonna agree with me when I say this, Mullah. Lissha said, she said that women lose themselves because they feel they have to be the mother, the father, the teacher, something else you said. That's the problem. That's the problem. Women don't have to be. That's why they lose themselves, because they trying to be something other than what they need to be. Just be the mother. Just be the mother, and be the best mother that you can be. That means, and if you allow them to be the mother and allow life to have it take its course, because God don't make no mistakes. If you feel like he need a male role model, put him around positive males in his life. That way you don't have to flood yourself with so much responsibility that you lose yourself in trying to be something that you're not designed to be. So you don't have to take that imbalance on. That's self-inflicted. Just be a good mother, the best mother that you can be. And that's one of the things that in certain instances did a draw men. And let me say this before did a turn men away. And let me also say this: she never said that she would tell that man that he was weak. She said women will at times see that as a weakness, and that's true. And it's not that she didn't say that he lost his job, but that he lost his job and he seems defeated. That is a weakness. We all know that. We all agree to that. Stop crying, man. Get up and go out and get what you got to get. Don't sit there and wallow in your misery. We done talked about this before, about how we got too many punks amongst us as in our community amongst men. We done talked about that. So that would be the weakness, is to see that he's sitting back and being defeated because this one door closed. No, you go out there and you make it happen. Do what you can. Don't lay there defeated. That is seen as a weakness. I see that as a weakness.
But also as his wife, she has to still. That's what I'm saying. Too.
Right. Hold on, and I'm finna get to that. Now we're not talking about wives. Right. We weren't talking about wives though. We weren't talking about wives. As a wife, yeah, you supposed to encourage him, and that's the safe place that Rez was talking about. See, this is where you find that safe place as a man to show that weakness, is when you commit to a woman. She's obligated to help you, because that's what she was put there for, to be a helper. So that's the safe place. When you commit to a woman and you make her legal, and that's yours. Now she's obligated.
The right woman.
That whatever. However when you decide that this is the one, and you decide to give her your last name, that's the one that's obligated to help you and build you up when you're weak. The one that you are just dating, she can look at that as a weakness, and she have the right to say, I don't want that as a husband. Just like you got the right to say, she too naggy, I don't want her as a wife. She's not supportive enough, I don't want her as a wife. So that's when you find that safe place, when you decide to wed that woman. And that's when we getting confused. You looking for her to give you wifely benefits when you're only dating her for 2 years. No, indeed. No, indeed.
I want to go back to what Scholar said too, because one, that is so on point, and vice versa, because you got females, and y'all don't send me no inboxes, because yes, you got some that do. We need you to be the husband before he even decided he need to be your husband. If you his girlfriend, now if he wants to ask to give grace and to pour into you, help you, because he sees that, okay, She's struggling, but she's trying hard. Let me lighten this up for her and make it a little easier, just because I see where you're going in life, and I want to invest in where you're going. So let me help you. But he's not obligated to do that, because one, he's not your husband. So he's not obligated to pay your bills or nothing, unless he sees that what I see in you draws me to, I need to help you get where you're trying to go, because I see more than what you see right now. And it's drawing me to help you to be better. It's drawing me to build you up. But now, what Scholar was talking about, women's behavior. Do you think that a woman's behavior mirrors men's behavior? Like, what's her name? Queen Priscilla or Princess? I'm sorry. Don't come for me, but I don't know her name. I think it's Queen Priscilla or Princess. She says she's like the female version of Kevin Samuels, right? And she says a man needs to be raised and taught by a man. And until he learns who he is and what he needs to be, he shouldn't be with nobody. And she shouldn't be with him, because he can't. He's got to focus on being himself and learning how to be himself. And that's, I can agree to an extent, but at the same time, we have to help each other along the way. That's why God blesses us with people. He don't drop blessings out the sky. He drops people into your path to help you through those times. But do you feel that women's behavior is mirroring men? Because we're the rib. So if we're the rib, whatever behavior that we see, we're taking that on. Well, what y'all think? Reggie, your eyes is like,
I promise you, I just got 2 quick points and I'm out of there. Okay. I ain't gonna say nothing else. All right. So, first thing, this is not me. I'm talking about boyfriend and girlfriend, right? They 2 people that's together. Okay. If a man can't show that he's vulnerable or he's depressed or he's sad in front of his girl while her thinking that he's weak, how can he take that into a marriage? If a man has to go into a closet and cry because he just lost his job because he don't want to show his girl, man, I'm sad about this, and she think that that's weakness, why would he want to take that into a marriage? Because that's showing him, I can't even be vulnerable in front of you. I can't be bare around you. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm seeing that, if I know that you're gonna go to your girlfriends and be like, girl, this thing ain't that, he's just in that crying because he lost his job. You see what I'm saying? If I can't trust you to be bare and vulnerable, why would I take that into a marriage? That's the first thing. And then the second thing was, if we are together for 2 years, I love you. You love me. You know my family. I know your family. We have a great time together. We love each other. You telling me that because we're not married, you still can go out there and play the field to somebody that's ready to marry you because I'm not ready to marry you right now? You still available for the streets. But because I'm not married to you, like Grind said, you are free to explore out there, knowing that you got a man that loves you. He loves you. Y'all love each other. Nobody's cheating or nothing. But you still can go out there. I don't want a woman like that. I don't want a woman that feel like she still can explore a man that wants to marry her just because I haven't proposed to her and we have a happy life. I don't want that type of woman. We should let
Grind answer that one. That's more up his alley.
No, wait, let me defend my girls. Because let me defend what I said. Because what I said in weakness, even if he loses his job, even if he's falling apart, does he have a plan? Do you have a plan and a vision? Like, listen, this is what it is. I'm fucked up. However, and you can be vulnerable and you can be naked and bare, but you still have that boss in you. You still have that leader in you that's like, but don't worry, I got it. But in the event that he's just weak and he's sitting in it because he's looking for his girl to give him the plan,
well, ain't nobody talking about that. Hey, you see, now we had stuff doing now. Ain't nobody asking for a man.
Women are the pullers. We are the pullers most of the time, and we are the visionaries. So in that, if we are the puller and the visionary, and he's sitting there waiting for you to give him the plan, that is what we smell. It's like, girl, you didn't smell that because I smelled it. Because even in our vulnerability, even in our weakness, even in our rough times, even in our depression, we have to have a plan, a vision, and we got to keep going. We don't have the option to fall out and wait for somebody to give us the game plan, right? So when you're talking about somebody you want to marry, we got to be equally yoked in the fact that even when I'm down, I got a game plan. I'm trying to figure it out. While you sitting there in the closet crying, I'm trying to figure it out. So you have those men, vice versa, that are trying to figure it out, and then you got your woman that's sitting there like, oh my, she's falling apart. Well, you're not my helpmate, because in this point in time, I need my helpmate. And where is the help? Because you over here crying, and I'm trying to figure it out. So, on a man's side or a woman's side, that's a smell of a weakness that creates a crack in the foundation, because we can't have that. We got to be able to say, you lost your job or you lost your job. Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to have your moment. Then, girl, we got to get this together. I got a plan, because boom, boom, boom. I can feel safe in his manhood. I can feel safe in his weakness, because even though he's had a vulnerable moment, he's still like, hold on, I still got it. I just need a moment to process what's going on in my space right now. But don't get it twisted, because we all right. She's feeling safe in that. But if you sitting there waiting for me to give you the game plan, how's she gonna feel safe in that? But he like, she don't. That's all I'm saying.
Because that's I'm not saying a man is waiting for his woman to give him the game plan. That's a sign. That's signs of weakness right there. If a man is waiting for his woman to give him the game plan about what they about to do, I'm saying, at what point do men? This is why men, we're expected to just brush our shoulders off and keep going. It's like the world, the society doesn't give us time to heal. If you get punched in the face, it's gonna swell up and it's gonna hurt for a while. But it's gonna, after a day or two, it's gonna heal, and you're gonna be right back going outside, look like you ain't never got hit. So when do women in society give men chances to heal from something that happens that's traumatic? Yeah, you can go.
Not a black woman. Not a black woman, my brother.
Well, wait a minute. Do we give each other chances to heal? Because I just said a black woman, even in her vulnerability, still has to be mom. When she's sick, when she's happy, when she's sad, when she's depressed, she got to push forward. She got to take care of her family. She got to do all of these things. She really don't get a time to have that weak moment. And so now we have this hard shell, because it's like, I don't have this time. Just like a man, I don't have this time, because now I got to push forward. So in our thinking, if I got to push forward in my most vulnerable time and keep going, so do you. And it's funny, because coming from a woman, y'all would be like, well, that's not fair. But if your homeboy said, dude, what is you doing? You still got to get up. I'm gonna give you 3 minutes to get,
because I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for my home. I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible to be a provider for my homeboy. I'm not responsible to be able to take care, make sure his household is straight. I'm responsible for you, though.
Right? But we are accountable. We are accountable for one another, bro. But you answering your own question, Reg. You answering your own question, right? You said, listen, okay, people don't know this. People think this Satan created evil, and follow me. Satan didn't create evil. He didn't create nothing. God created evil. And he said in the Bible, the reason he did it is because that's what true glorification is. He said, all that I have created for my glory, right? So God gave us good and he gave us evil. Why? Because when we have the option to do evil, but we choose good, that is what glorifies God, right? So the reason I'm telling you that is because what you need to do in order to find out who is your wife is you have to give that option. I said that before. Give her the option that you could date who you want to date. I'm going to date who I want to date. But when that woman choose to be with you and say, I don't want to date nobody else, though. I want to just be with you. Even though I got the option to do it, that's when you need to start thinking about going further than just wasting 2 years of her time. When you giving her the option, or when you find that woman that when you are down and you are vulnerable, you're right. You don't have to go into a marriage with a woman that look at you like you weak because you vulnerable right now. Yeah, you don't have to. But when you find that one that got the option to see you in your weakness and choose to uplift you, edify you, and exhort you, then stop wasting her time. Don't go
Amen.
another 2 years. Grab hold to that woman and decide to go further. The answer is for you right there.
But
It's right there.
She looking for the same things. I'm looking for, most women, we love your brain first, right? We love what's up here. And so he's smart. That means that that's your strength. We loving that. So he can grow me. He can grow me, not in the sense of grow me up, but he has so much knowledge here that he will be able to edify my life. We're looking for the same things. But I think what Moolah was saying is that Black women, we come off so harsh that we make it hard for men to feel like it's okay, because now they feeling a little way. But I want to go back, because who was that said, was that Scholar where you said a woman said that a man felt away because she had a degree? Now,
Yeah,
I think that comes from not that she has a degree, but there's a form of jealousy there between Black men and women, I believe. And I believe the jealousy comes from her doing something that and being in a space in herself that you wish you can be in. So I think that that's what we're seeing as jealousy, but we're saying, oh, he feel away because I have this. No, you have a drive, and you have a passion, and you have a strength that he may not have. And in brokenness, you don't have that. So you start to envy those people around you that do have it. So if it's your woman and she has a degree and she's got this and she's doing this and she's moving and she's shaking, you starting to feel away. And sometimes that jealousy and envy will come out, because it's not that you have it, that these are things that I want to do and I want to have. And it's not moving that way for me, and vice versa. Sometimes women can look at her man and be like, he got this confidence in him that it just make me sick because I ain't got it. So now all of a sudden, he's just overly confident, like, oh, you just doing too much, because he walks in, he owns that room, and you really wish that you can walk in and own that room too. I think that that's what we face just in our community, that when people want to attack the Black man, what do they attack? His woman.
Yeah.
They want to get to you, they come to us. And as they attack us, because we are so strong, we build up this hard shell. And then, like Moolah was saying, not the Black woman, because now that she got this hard shell and she's moving from her feminine energy into her masculine energy, because everybody got it, y'all like, she too much. She is too much, because she's been put in the position to have to provide and protect for herself and for her family. And she don't know how to be soft now. That softness is not something that she know how to do. And she has to really have a man that's able to understand that That's why in the dating process it's really important that we are learning each other.
Let me
hold on,
So
let me
to
talk, G.
understand or reverse that,
What'd you say, Grant?
is it understand? Because you say a man got to be willing to understand that. Because in order
You
for a
gotta
woman to
understand it to reverse it, because now I need you to be soft. And so in me helping you be soft, I need to show you that one, you can trust me and you can feel protected in my leadership. Let me lead you. Let me soften you up. Let me soften your path. Let me show you what it should look like. You don't have to have all of this, but once we get in our masculine energy, I don't think we know how to let go of it. We don't know how to get out of it. We don't know how to switch it up.
Miss Lissha,
Yeah.
you should never have masculine energy. Let me
Everybody
tell
got it.
you a woman. Let me tell you what's a woman's superpower. Her feminine side. This
it
is her
definitely
superpower.
is.
I'm keeping it 100.
Definitely
You
is.
That is her.
so.
So listen, you are an independent woman. I listen. I can see that from far away. You're an independent woman. I told Scholar this a while ago. I say a man, he looks at another man's woman, and that's how he look at that man, right? That's how a man judges another man by his woman. If she's loud and ratchet, I don't care what he do. I don't want to be around him. He can't control his woman. If he got an independent woman and she's just a boss chick, boss this, you know what I'm saying? I don't care what he do either. He don't get too much respect from me because his chick is just out. I'm just keeping it one. It's just me. When you show that feminine side and you be this type of woman, Grand got one, Scholar got one. It's like it's a difference. Like they showing their superpowers because they are feminine, and that is what men want. We
And let me
don't want
piggyback.
Everybody has, just like men have a feminine side. All men have it. Everybody got masculine and feminine. When we have to move and we have to be the pusher, the puller, and the organizer, and we are the one that's leading. When we are leading in our masculine energy.
That means you made bad decisions. You made bad decisions on your way up.
You necessarily make you make those bad decisions, I believe, because you don't have that helpmate to balance you. Your man is there to help balance you. So a woman that is independent has an identity, and a vision for herself. That's what makes her independent. But the problem is that we get into that independence and we get into it in a way where it becomes our focus. And so when you don't have that man that's there to balance you, you stay in that energy. You don't know how to soften because there's no balance there. That's all I'm saying is your man is there to help balance you. Just like your woman is there to help balance you. Y'all balancing each other out. Mm-hmm. But if you are only tipping this way and you have to tip this way so strong so don't nothing fall apart, it's hard to be soft if you don't have that foundation to feel safe and be soft in. But that comes from being committed in a relationship with someone, not just being with everybody in a dating phase and I got to be soft for you and no, because everybody don't supposed to get that energy. We don't supposed to give it away.
But
Lissha, let me jump in real quick. I just need 160 seconds. Mullah is 1,000% correct with his analysis. We're not going to debate that, but I want to go back to the foundation. I think a lot of this stuff what we debating is, and it's strictly for the men right here, because of how we was raised, whether we was raised by men or we was raised by single family, we were never groomed to deal with women properly in the beginning, right? We were never taught by another man how to deal with our emotions. We were never taught by another man how to enter into relationship properly. So the conversation that we having right now, we should have entertained these conversations when we were younger. There's some conversations, Reggie, I know you're going to have with your son. Brian, there's conversation that you're going to have with your sons, and Mullah, the same thing. if we prepare our sons for that, and we tell them the importance of relationship and marriage, we don't have to have these conversations when we're adults. We don't have to have conversations about what we should do and how we should manage ourselves and how we should do all these type of things. We already have these skill sets, so we didn't get it. So here we are right now, right? And we got this whole cookbook, right? We got some people over here on the left, and you got some people over on the right, right? So it's one big cookbook right now, and that also go for the women, because the women be getting all one perspective, just only from women. Some women be getting perspective, and they ain't never ever seen a good example of a man in their family, right? They can only tell you these things on how they feel, based emotionally, and the things that they witness. So you having all these back and forth conversations. Then you're going to double down on something real serious like marriage or something like that, when we really don't even know how to do these things properly. And we really don't even know how to have a serious conversation about how to enter into these things properly.
That's right.
Right? So it becomes a debate against your side and his side. But I will agree with Moolah. I'd like to end with this. The woman does reflect the man, right? And you can learn a lot by how she moves and navigates on what that relationship is. But before we can even enter into that, can we first start with ground 01? Do we want these type of relationships, and how do those relationships begin? Can we start at ground 01 before we get to the home plate? Can we start about how do you enter into a healthy relationship? What does that look like?
That's right.
That's all I'm going to say. I land my plane.
And I love that, because that's what the importance is. How do we come together and we balance each other out? Everybody has an idea of what should be done and how it should be done. And like, I love what you said about the woman mirroring her man, because remember when Fantasia went on the Breakfast Club, and they had that debate about being submissive, and then she did the thing with her husband.
Yeah.
When I was like, yes, husband, because not only in that moment he stepped in front of his wife, like, hold on, so let me explain how we work. Let me explain how I keep her balanced. And he gave us the best example of submission, what it should look like, what it should look like, what a healthy, that was, even though a relationship is not perfect, we got a glimpse of what a healthy relationship looks like and how a man steps for his woman, right? Because that's protection. He didn't have to physically step in front of her. His words kind of put a hand in front of her, like, I got you. And he broke it all the way down to say, let me help you to understand why my wife feels this way, because this is how I keep my marriage balanced, and I keep us going the way we going. And he explained it in a way that everybody should have been like, what? Because it's true. He said, I want my wife cold as I am. And so in that, I have to teach her to be me. And I never thought about it like that. I'm like, that's true. Your man is teaching you to be him. But if he can't be himself, that's a problem that we're having now, right? So if he's saying she gonna be as cold as I am, everything I know, I'm about to pour into her. Everything I know how to do, I'm about to make her so tough, y'all ain't gonna want to deal with her. Why? Because I need her to be this way. So when something happens, she can handle it. And if I'm not there to handle it, I just love the way he did that. And so I like what you said about that a woman is the mirror of her man, because that is true. And so if he has no control, that's not even control, that's balance. That means that she's the leader. That means that the identity is not there, because now she's taken forth to say, because submission is natural. If he the right one, he's gonna get it naturally. So if you gotta force it, then that's the first sign that he ain't it. But we
but
don't see, we roll past like, well,
but Lissha, a woman can't lead.
Yes, she can.
No, she can't.
Yes,
No,
she
can't.
can.
No, she can't.
When you are in a marriage, sometimes y'all are standing. Who is that? Sarah Jakes Roberts and her husband talked about it. They said when we are standing together, we are unstoppable. But sometimes she is the leader in front. And sometimes I'm the leader in front. And then sometimes we back to back. But either way, we still balancing each other. At some point in time, if you are in a weak situation, right, whether you sick or spiritually down or emotionally down, we're talking about your wife now, not girlfriend. She's leading you at that time because you're in a weakened state to where you need her to help heal you. You need her to take care of you. You need her to not doctor on you, but you're in a state where she has to pour into you. So at that point, she's in protection mode because she's gonna be like, back up off my man.
She's doing what she's supposed to do.
Right. But let me explain. But let me explain what he's saying though. But in the sense of what you're saying is simple. It's be subject. Like the Bible say, wives ought to be subject unto their husbands. When you talk about a husband providing, he don't just provide a bag, he provides wisdom. It goes outside of just money. And when they talk about being subject unto they say, hey, let wives be subject to their own husband. Being subject mean to be governed. Now, a good leader, a true leader, and that's why Turbo was saying she can't lead. What he's saying is that it's the man's job to lead and determine when to put that woman in play. It's her job to submit unto his governing, meaning he gonna do what's best for you. Perfect example. You look at us. We get paid, but our government decided to take out taxes. If we could, we would insist, no, don't take no taxes out of my check. Give me all my money. The government says this is what's best for us.
That's right.
So what a man does, a man say, well, you know what? You wiser at this than I am. So here, you go ahead and take care of this, baby. But all along, he's leading. He puts her in play when it's her time. Yes. He puts her in play.
No, Alicia, you said it.
I got a question though. If y'all, most of y'all are married, right? All of y'all are married, right?
I'm married, and me and Scholar married.
Okay, right. All right. So your wife, that's your shooter, right? She your right hand. You already know she in the pocket. She there.
Right.
All she need for you, like in what was that 3,300, that movie where he looked over at her and she was like, "Yeah." That's what it is when you are in a state and she knows that you are in a soft state where whatever it is you're working with, your woman becomes fierce. She will take a head off about her man.
Yes.
Don't play with my husband. And so y'all know that y'all got that. And so even depending on the situation, like he said, you're going to put her in position. But you giving her that position to be the leader. But she got to be able to handle it when you give it to her. That means that you have given her the knowledge to be just as cold as you are. That means that I'm a reflection of my man.
Go ahead.
Right? If my
that
man
reflection
out, you gotta watch out. When he come get me, that means that my wife is coming. I'm just letting you know she coming because I know what I have right here. She not gonna say nothing, but when I let her out, just know whatever it is I was asking you for, you're gonna give me that and more when she get done with you. But you know that you have to put her into play first, right? But you know that she got it.
But and that depends on the situation. That's why she's not considered the leader, because there's certain things that I would never put her in the forefront of. I would never put her in danger of. I would never put her out there to even take the hit for. I'm the one gonna take that bullet. You know what I mean? I'm the one gonna take that bullet. It's just wiser for her to here. I need you to handle this. But she waits for me to say, I need you to handle this, because she's trusting in me as I'm led by God. I lead her, and it's never failed us since. This is the thing. And when you say reflection of a man, And this go back to what Moolah was saying earlier about your feminine side is your superpower. We've been lied to about what feminine and masculine really is, right? We think being strong is masculine. No, you could be strong and feminine too.
That's right.
We think being tough is masculine. No, you could be tough and feminine too. We
That's
think
humility.
being meek is feminine. No, being meek is masculine too. You gotta learn. I can't talk to my brothers all the time aggressive and this and this. I gotta be meek to them sometimes. That don't make me feminine.
That's
That
humble.
just means I'm controlling myself so that they can understand me more. We got a misconception of what feminine and masculine is. She is the image of she reflects me, but she reflects my strength, not my masculinity.
Yes,
She
sir.
reflects, you know what I'm saying? She reflects my wisdom, not my masculinity.
Ooh.
And here's the thing, and you forgotten that movie, in the movie 300, he went off to war. She stayed at home.
Exactly.
And she had,
Exactly. Exactly.
remember that one part when that man came to her? And she was like, hold on, don't get it twisted, because I know what to do.
I know. She stayed at home and got them pails of water and went back there and carried out them instructions. So he 1,000%, because my femininity could be me being humble, could me being patient. That's my feminine energy, but it been remixed. I land my plane.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Even in that movie, when the one man who came to her and was like, well, you should just do da-da-da, she was left in a position because he knew that whatever my instructions were, she gonna leave this house the way. And so she had to let the man know, don't get it twisted because my husband's not here. Because he showed me what to do. But if y'all think about it, Delilah was in her feminine energy all the time. And a woman will take down a whole nation. Like, that is a superpower. But when we are, I'm going to say masculine energy to me is like you're in that focus, right? You just so focused that you can't be soft in that moment because you're focused on whatever it is you have to do.
And being soft ain't feminine. Being soft ain't feminine.
Well, when I say that softness, when we are in our feminine energy, we are soft.
Right.
We are very like laid back. We relaxed. We like, okay, you know what I'm saying? So that is a softness from a woman's point of view.
Right.
But if we look
and when I say that from a man point of view, I just want to clarify that. I don't want to, because I hear what you're saying. Let me just clarify. And when I say that from a man point of view, because sometimes you can have somebody that's real harsh and want to start a fight with you, but you could take the soft approach and say, you know what, brother? It's okay, man. It's all good. He may look at that as soft, but that's really masculine, because it takes a lot more to me to walk away than it do for me to respond in violence.
That's right.
So that's just one. I just want to, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. That's easy. It's easy for me to go to the left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So let me not go to the left. Let me stand back and wait and see. And let it be known that, listen, this is all we trying to do.
Yeah.
And I think that that's where our disconnect is. I think that women have, and I'm gonna say in our community, well, there's a disconnect there that needs to be rebuilt, where we feel that protection even when he's not there.
Yeah.
Just like the movie 300, I love that movie, because even when her man was at war, she felt protected, and she was in mode. She was like, and when he come home, he coming home to everything that he had and some, because it's gonna be straight when he come home. And so she is handling everything there, but she's still in a position of leadership, even though he put her there.
And she was in the position of her feminine side.
But he was the leader, though.
When she told that man to back up, and she had that sword, oh, he was about to die. He was about to die. He was about to take his life, because she let him know as nice as possible, you about to die.
Have you ever had a man that you would die for?
My son.
All right.
It's a good answer.
I'm his shoe.
Very great answer.
Good answer.
I'm his shoe.
Great answer.
Even as hard as I am on him, I will help him bury the body, and I will help him dig the grave.
Okay,
You see what I'm
Scissor.
saying? I'm his shoe. I'm in his pocket for him. You see what I'm saying? But that's, to me, that's what I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be in the pocket for him. That means that if I come out, it's a problem, because don't mess with him. That's just your mind. And as women, I think we lose, when we lose that, we forget to allow our sons to grow as men, because now we really see them as little forever. Like when your mom look at you, if she's still living, she see that same little baby. She don't see a grown man, and she's the little boy. She see the little you. And so I think a lot of times it's hard for us to kind of let go and move back and let y'all be, because we want to be in protection mode all the time.
That's why y'all got to be tamed.
But that not tamed, but we need balance.
Hold on.
Wait, hold on. I knew you gonna say that. Look at her. Hey, I got her with that one. Look,
I like that.
Listen, you do. Y'all emotional creatures. Look, you do, but it ain't necessarily in a violent way. You got to be tamed by a person showing you that they willing to be all that they need to be for you as a man. You got to be tamed by me showing you that I'm willing to put you first and love you as Christ loved the church. That's how you tame. You tame through my actions of submission to God to protect you in the way that I'm supposed to do. And in my actions, it does tame you. It does.
So, but and in a woman's word, that would be our version of balance. Like we say the same thing.
I guess.
That's our version of balance. You giving her balance at that point.
And the physical aspect don't hurt none either. I'm just keeping it real.
but it's nothing like a man that can balance you.
There you go.
It makes you stronger. So if you know that you have an independent woman, right? Once you give her that balance, you really are leveling her up in a way where you making her fierce, because you actually giving her the power that she didn't have, because she didn't have that balance. And I think a lot of times men don't know what to do with that, or they don't understand. But that's why I think Scholar was saying earlier, that ain't us. It's a different type of man. That's why it's important to date and court and learn each other, because you got to learn what kind of man it is, because every man is not a man. Sometimes you got a male that's just grown. You may not necessarily have a man. Men are cut differently. They move differently, and their understanding is different than a male that is grown, and the vice versa for a woman. You can have a female that's grown, or you can have a woman, and you can't walk in fear with either. Like if you're walking in fear, that's not going to be a conducive relationship for growth, because one person can't be fearless and the other one being fearful. Because my strength it should be within him, and his strength should be within me, right? So if I make him stronger and he make me stronger, why am I walking in fear? Why is he walking in fear? It shouldn't exist. Not that you shouldn't have caution, depending on what it is, but that's when y'all come together, right? And y'all had that game plan, like, this is what it is. Okay, well, we're going to do this, we're going to move like this, we're going to move like that. So therefore, there's still no fear, even when there's caution.
Together, we can make it all happen. Together, we can make it happen.
Together, we can make it happen. We can make anything happen. We ain't got to worry about nothing. But if you scary, I done smelt your weakness, there's nothing we can do. Because you scary. I can't do nothing with that. Look at like trash.
Man.
I'm just saying. I mean, it might be blunt, but if I'm here to make you stronger and you here to make me stronger, you can't be walking around here being scary because you ain't got nothing to worry about, and vice versa. That's just even when you have God. If we both have God, why we walking in fear? We know that he ain't gonna run us into no wall. There are times that we have to take bold steps in the dark where we might just see one foot in front of the next foot. We don't even see the whole road. We just see the one little space that one foot's supposed to go in. But we not walking in fear. When we go to a restaurant, we ain't got no fear when we sit down in the chair. We just sit down. We ain't got no fear when we order our food and we eat. We just order the food and eat. So when you have that person that's supposed to be your person, why do you have fear there? Why does the fear have to exist?
Because your outside don't look like my outside.
I'm sorry.
That's it.
I'm sorry.
You know.
But if it just like she gotta let you balance her. If you let her balance you, then your outside, it's gonna still be your outside, but it'll be a better version, and vice versa. But we gotta stop being scared to allow the man and the woman to lead us. We lead each other because I have to make you stronger. So in that moment, I'm still leading you because I'm making you stronger and I'm building you up. But if we scared of that, how are we gonna go? No, we ain't going nowhere. We're not doing nothing. We wasting each other's time.
Miss Lissha, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
And I after this one, I ain't gonna say nothing else. Okay, for real.
You keep saying that. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
If you and your man together for 2 years, and I don't want to keep harping on this, right?
Don't do this.
Reggie,
I
Don't
don't
do
want
this.
to keep. I don't want to keep
Reggie,
harping on this.
it sounds like this might be where you at. You
B, what's wrong with him, B?
Some about that 2 years.
I'm here with. I'm trying to fathom. I'm trying to fathom the understanding that y'all have that if you are with someone that you love, y'all love each other, but because y'all not married,
here we go.
You are free to go out and explore other men.
See? That's
You
not
need
what
to
I
let
said.
Brian answer that.
I'm asking. I'm saying that. So you free to go out and explore? We love it. I'm just asking you though. Are you free to go out?
When we are dating, I'm free to be whoever I'm be with. I don't have to be exclusive to nobody, and he don't have to be exclusive to me. After 2 years, we are moving with intent and purpose. Once you start moving with intent and purpose, now love is nice, but love is not the large part of a relationship, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't hold that much weight. It holds weight, but not that much weight.
Okay. So on the flip side,
intent and purpose after 2 years, if there's intent and purpose there, we're going somewhere. We got a plan. That's different.
Now we have intent and purpose.
Now, and he just out here. What do they say? Pushing the bar, like, well, but just let me do this. And then now he pushed the bar forward a little bit. Now that means you got fear. If you scared, if you are scary, because I'm here to make you stronger. And we together for 2 years and we moving with intent and purpose, that means that you're allowing me to strengthen you and I'm allowing you to strengthen me.
Yeah.
We move towards something more than just boyfriend and girlfriend.
But we know that this is real. We know this is real life though.
At 2 years. If you still scary at 2 years.
No, let's not use the word scary. Let's use the word. Let's
open my options up because
I'm scared.
Yeah, let's not use the word scary.
Open my options up at that point. If you can't sit down and make a decisive decision, if you are still indecisive at 2 years on what intent and purpose we are supposed to be doing, then I need to move on because that means that you need me to sit still while you figure it out.
And I was the one to come along and help you move on.
We gonna sit and pause the time. Now you keep asking this 2-year question, Reggie. I'm just saying this is just something I'm noticing. That's your mark right there. This 2-year question.
Hey, we heard it all day, every day, Lissha.
You in a relationship for 2 years. If y'all have intent and purpose, if you are still walking in fear or hovering, helicopters hover. All they do is kick up dirt. They don't go nowhere. They don't do nothing. They just there. If a woman is in a position to be a puller all the time, that means I got to pull you out. I got to pull you in. I got to pull. Eventually, she's going to get tired of doing that pulling, right? Because she's expecting you. She's showing you that I'm your strength. I got you, but you still hovering. So at 2 years, you should really know and you love her, you should know if you love her in the sense where I want her to be my wife or my forever girlfriend. Because a wife and a forever girlfriend is 2 different things. A forever girlfriend is just somebody that is just stayed still in position until you figure it out. Nobody want to be a forever girlfriend. If she that one, if she in the pocket for you and you know it, then you should be making those efforts, even in your fear, whether you got to go to counseling, whether you got to go see your pastor, whether you got to talk to your father, whether you got to talk to whatever you got to do to get yourself in position to give her more, because you know that's what she deserves and that's what you want from her, and not sit in your fear of 2 years.
I'm only saying the 2 years thing. I'm only saying the 2 years thing because this is my firm belief that a lot of men that get married, not all, I would never say all, but a lot of men get married because they know that their girl is going to leave them if they don't marry them. They're going to leave them if they don't marry them. So when that pressure is on, they don't want to leave. They don't want to lose their girl. So fuck it. Okay, I'm going to marry you. And then 5 years down the line, they end up cheating because they was never ready to get married in the first place.
But
they wasn't married to get married in the first place.
Due diligence. You didn't do your due diligence before you said, let me marry you. If you know that fear is because you really kind of want to be free. Is it really that you want to be with her on that long distance? See, a lot of times we get married for the wrong reason. We don't really understand, because we haven't gotten a full explanation of what really marriage is, and they don't show us that part. They show us the good part, right? They show us the we got these pictures and the flowers and it's nice, and he dressed up, and my man, but we don't see that other side, right? And so when we're not seeing that other side, we have the delusion of what it would look like. But again, at 2 years, at 2 years, you should be going in a direction. And if you don't see her beyond that 2 years as being more than a girlfriend, then at that point, it's irresponsible for you to make her stay in one spot for you for another year, because you kind of wasting her time at that point, because you really don't see it. Because when you start seeing it, you start changing and doing what you need to do to get right. Just like a young man, right? My son's room is a mess, right? You always clean your room, right? But it'll be that one day you turn around and his room is clean. You ain't told him to clean it. You ain't did nothing. First thing your mama think is, what's the girl name? Because now you changing the way you doing things. So it's the same thing at that 2 year mark. If you love her and she in the pocket for you, and it's 2 years, whatever that fear is that you have, wherever it's coming from, it's not coming from her. So you either need to decide if you're going to do what you have to do to get yourself right, because you want to go in this different direction, with her, or you need to let her go and allow somebody else to step up. Because why would you freeze her? That's like freezing her in place until you decide what you want to do, possibly, maybe. It's not fair to her. And that's vice versa. Why would she hold you in place after 2 years so she
And
could
just said she could bounce.
And at some point in time, let me see what I want to do. I might not. I don't know. But
I'm
he's
not.
still gonna be here.
I think y'all misunderstanding what I'm saying.
No,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the man don't want to marry her. I'm not saying he don't want to marry. He probably do want to marry this. I'm saying, why is there a time frame on when you're supposed to get married? What if
It's not
in
really
2 years?
frame, right?
It's not. It's a time frame to be exclusive.
Okay.
I ain't got to be exclusive to nobody if I don't know your intentions. I'm married for purpose, right? I'm married for purpose. I love my wife, but I'm married for purpose too. I needed somebody to hold me down, stop me from going out here catching AIDS, man. I know I needed somebody. I needed somebody to ground me.
Come on, Pastor.
So we gonna go with it.
Come
on, man. I needed somebody
Pastor,
to
talk to him.
I needed somebody to stop me from going out here risking my life, doing stuff to knowing that I got somebody else's life in my hands. Like I needed that. I needed that responsibility because I'm willing to risk me. But see, when you become married, it ain't about you no more. You know what I'm saying? The best marriages are marriages where y'all both selfless. And the proof of that is, y'all know married people always arguing about, well, I did this for you. I did this for you. Well, I did this for you. I did this for you. That all you doing is arguing about who love who better. Those are the best marriages, really, because when you sit back and think about it, like I'm arguing about some stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like really, I'm trying to prove that I love you better, you love me. Then we could work through this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell you when I proposed to my wife, and I thank God she told me, and she said yes, but I want you to know we gotta wait a year. She said we gotta wait a year, and I'm like, why? She had to make sure that she wasn't a rebound from my previous relationship, and I respected that. And I respected that because guess what? And in that time. In that year time before we got married, she was able to see, is he because I proposed now. See, it's different once you propose. Now that I proposed this year, going through, I'm not dating no more. I didn't made a commitment. I done made a commitment now. So within that year, I ain't no dating. She needs to see that I'm willing to be the husband that I claim I'm gonna be, and I need to see she willing to be the wife that she says she gonna be. And in that time, we was able to.
We gonna roll that back. You're not gonna drive past that like I didn't hear what I just heard. So
what you heard?
How long were y'all together before you asked her to marry you?
Well, we wasn't together. We dated and we knew each other approximately, I'm gonna say maybe we knew each other about 8-9 months before I proposed to her.
Which is why she was like, I need to see something first.
Well, because because we were friends. No, she needed to see because we were friends, and she understood where I come from. Because see, that's one of the biggest problems. We don't go into a relationship being friends. You gotta be friends first. You got to be friends first.
Foundation.
And see, by us being friends, I was opening up to her about certain things like she opened up to me about things. And she realized where I was coming from. And not just that, she got people in her ear, which most women do. And she's single, so I ain't mad. She got people in her ear. Not to mention, before I proposed to her, I told her, you my wife. I know you dating. I don't care about you dating, date who you want to date, but I know you mine. I told her. She thought I was crazy, but here we is 14 years later, still married though. You see what I'm saying?
She might think you crazy, but we like that.
You see what I'm saying?
Women, we gonna be like,
I said claim to her. I said claim to her. And then when she told me though, but being that she got other women in her life, he did this and he come from this and he come from that. She told me, she was like, well, we can get married. She said, I will marry you, but we gotta wait a year. We gotta wait a year, but because she wanted to make sure that She and I was cool with that. And we went through a great year, ups and downs, but we stood in there. You know what I mean? And then we got married. Went through some ups and downs, but we stood in there. You know what I mean? And to this day, best 14 years of my life. Cause I thank God, hey, I ain't sitting up in the house somewhere taking all these meds because I'm strung out on a virus. You know what I'm saying? I ain't back in the penitentiary from throwing rocks. I stopped throwing rocks at the penitentiary, all that. And I thank God for bringing that into my life. So I'm gonna give him all because he gave me a help me like I never could ask for. And I thank God for that. And I'm gonna keep praising him for that. You know?
You better put her out there.
Man, listen. You got to take a chance with some people, man. You got to take a chance. We taking a chance with everything. You got people that don't want to do that, but you will lay down with a woman and then lay down with 90 people and be with her for 2 years. You taking a chance right there, bro. You know what I'm saying?
And I say that because it's not a lot of men that really rep their women like that. It's not a lot of men that rep their women like that. Like man. You repping her. You letting
because grind wife is one of 7,000 women in the world. Like that's a rarity. Okay, so it's not a lot of Aprils out here. Okay, let's just put that out there. Okay,
but he repping her. A lot of men will not feel comfortable enough to rep his wife's strength. Like everything that is strength about her. He like, let me tell you, you can see it excites him because like he like, listen, let me tell you about my wife. And a lot of men don't do that. They might be like, she all right. No, he let it be known. This is mine. He is that one, and that one that is mine. And I ain't being lukewarm about her. I ain't sidestepping about her. I'm letting it be known that I know what it is that I have. And I appreciate what it is that I have.
Hey, Reg, and she tried to bust my car windows out with an umbrella before too. So don't think I'm. We done had ups and downs, boy.
We didn't say it was gonna be easy. We didn't say it was gonna be easy, but y'all have such a foundation where it's set that y'all gonna be able to get through. Yeah, Reg, after 2 years. You got to be, even in her craziness, you have to know what you got. And if you're not sure, if you want her to sit still, it's like kind of being lukewarm about her. So at that point in time, yes, she should be dating. Because if that's your husband, he's not lukewarm about you. He not lukewarm about you. He not sidestepping. You can see the excitement because he know what he got. But if he's lukewarm, then yes, she should be dating because he's not really sure. And you don't want to be wasting your time.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put the box of gloves down. I don't want to fight no more.
Appreciate y'all. This was fun, y'all. This was fun. Okay, so I want y'all to shout out your show where everybody can see it, when everybody can see it. And any events that you guys have going on.
Moolah got one coming up this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Moolah, what you got going on?
We got a sipping shop going on, book signing, March 16th, 2:00. It's gonna be nice. You got a DJ, we got RMF Reds hosting it. So it's gonna be a lot of people there, and we just gonna sit there and have fun and sell some clothes and relax and have a little interview,
Who got a book?
My man, he got a book. His name T-Mac. He got a book. He got a book called Message to the Streets. So, we're just going to sit back and, so it's the meeting of the minds. We're just going to sit back and have a talk and have an interview and see why he apologizing to the youth.
I love it. Anybody else got anything going on?
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, we love to do shows. We always do live shows. I love that we do live shows in front of an audience now. When we first started off, we just enjoy being around each other, but now we do shows in front of an audience, which is, I feel like, a situation to show always. So we just had a show a week ago. We got another show coming up on the 27th. that we're gonna do at the Cigar Lounge. So it's gonna be dope. So look out for plugs with that. But follow us, man. TOTB_show on YouTube. You can find all our episodes on there. All season 1, 2, 3. You know, that's TOTB_show on YouTube, and it's TOTB the dopest on IG and Facebook. All right, and if you're on TikTok, because TikTok is of course trending right now.
Yeah, we're going viral right now on TikTok. We're going viral. Check us out on TikTok. We're going viral right now.
And
we are.
Hold on.
2020.
Hold on. Reg, hold on. What about Tuesdays? Come on, man.
Oh yeah.
Nightcap. Come on, man.
Tuesday nights, I do the Nightcap radio show on My Radio Chicago from 9 to 11, man. It's a dope vibe, you know, smooth music, good conversation, man. So you can find me on there. I'm always live streaming the show, but if you download the app or go online, you can find it at Support District Radio Network.
And of course, anybody out there listen, go check out my latest single, "Fall Down" by Holy Grind, all streaming platforms. "Fall Down" by Holy Grind. If you ain't in tune, get in tune. Check out SIT, Sin, Repent, Travail. That's the latest project, the last album. Got some more stuff coming in store for you real soon. But check out SIT, Sin, Repent, Travail by Holy Grind, and "Fall Down" by Holy Grind, all streaming platforms. Get in tune, stay in tune.
So,
and as we always say,
Scholar?
I'm just Scholar on IG, TikTok. I'm teamwork make the dream work.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. So y'all gotta come down here and do a show. Y'all got.
Where you at in New Orleans?
Where you at?
Georgia.
All right.
Oh,
ATL.
Do a show. Now listen. Don't be come down here because listen, I'm snitching. Everybody woman, I'm snitching. I'll be like, let me tell you, because the same way you came down here, we got to send you back to her the same way you came. So just so you know,
oh, this is business.
Talking about Georgia.
We got to see you right back.
Now you know y'all got the Magic City and everything down there, man. You can't be doing nothing like that.
Hey, I'm good. Man, got too much family down there anyway. They got a whole community.
Y'all gotta do a show down here. That's gonna be fun. Just let me know.
We got you.
Yeah, for sure.
This was so fun, y'all. Y'all make sure that you watch the replay. If you are watching the replay, welcome. Make sure y'all following them, TOTB_show. Follow Hardcore Grind, Lissha on all platforms. Head over to iHeartRadio and listen to the podcast interview with these fabulous gentlemen. And then they will be in the next issue of Hardcore Grind magazine as well.
Hey.
Indeed.
All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Any last words?
And we are
thinking outside the box.
All right, fellas.
We
I
love
appreciate
you.
y'all. Love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.
All right.
See you later.